Thank you, Neil. And our final speaker, who is going to speak against the motion, is Bakary Diallo, who is the Chief Executive Officer and Rector of the African Virtual University, which is based in Nairobi and specializes in open distance and electronic learning. Bakary.
Hello, how are you? I would like to start by asking a simple question. In this room, who is supporting e-learning? The question is, who is supporting e-learning in this room? All right.
As an intervention, can I ask, you all support e-learning even if it's crap? Is that what you're saying? But
No.
on what basis do you make a generalized assumption like that? But well, it depends on how it's implemented, doesn't it?
Mr. Speaker, I think my point was made.
I don't think, well, I think it was made.
This House believes in e-learning. My second question is, who is for progress in this House? Mr. Speaker, this House believes in progress. The reason why I'm against this motion is because my two colleagues sitting here are against progress. I would like to just provide facts, 5 points of why I'm against this motion. And it's based on facts and my own experience. Why do institutions want to share openly? It's mainly because of perhaps their mandate, like my institution is a Pan-African organization, so we develop and we share with all Africans and everyone in the world, and it's legitimate. The second reason is MIT and all the leaders, but it's increasing their reputation. Some universities today are choosing to release their open education resources, or OCWC, because you get some recognition for that. The second point I want to make is, if within Africa, this thing has happened. AVU worked with 10 countries, 12 universities. We developed 4 Bachelor of Education in mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology. The content is being used in these universities, in degree programs. It's open education resources, by the way. So the issue of certification they are talking about, it doesn't mean that you cannot use OER in your courses at the university and provide degree within the university. We are doing it, it's happening. It's happening here at the Open University of Tanzania, it's our partner, at the University of Nairobi, and at the University of Sheikh Anta Diop in Senegal. So this is the reality here.
Could I intervene on that, just get a clarification? You're saying that 10 universities, out of how many universities in Africa are contributing to open education resources? Doesn't that support our point, not your point?
Well, first of all, we know from management that ICTs, e-learning, open education resources are all part of innovation. And fortunately, we also know from research that innovation has a way to grow. You start with the early adopters before the masses came. And that is exactly what is happening. And that's why I'm against this motion. So if we look at the other facts, the fact that we work with 200 African, mostly African lecturers to develop this module. We have 219 courses. But the remarkable thing is, at the beginning, the lecturers, the writers were a bit hesitant. But now that the site is launched and we have about 114 countries coming and downloading materials, it made these lecturers are very famous. So we may say at the beginning they may resist a bit, but the fact is that universities are coming forward and universities are publishing their open education resources. The number is increasing every day, every year. It is so popular because we are only talking about universities, but those people who are actually accessing these materials are students. What we are seeing is a new phenomenon where students go online, look at materials, and learn themselves. We cannot be against that. And finally, on the issue of certificate again, I will come, and that will be my last point. Certification is important. Quality higher education is important. But no one has proved that once materials are open, that they do not have good quality. Thank you very much.
Could I just get another clarification just before you finish? Is how many universities have contributed without receiving funding from an external source?
Well, what I want to say is to that is education has a cost, and somebody has to support it. Even we are talking about open educational resources. Let us forget about open for a moment. It is just educational resources. If you want to develop restricted material in your university, you will need some funding. It has to come from somewhere. And it's the same for OER. It has to come from somewhere. Someone has to pay for it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bakary, and thank you to all our paper speakers, our opening speakers, for 4 extremely good presentations and 4 very good speeches. It's now over to you, and this is your chance to agree or disagree with anything that any of the speakers have said, or to ask them a question, or to make any other comment or contribution that you feel like. We've got about half an hour, and I can already see the hands shooting up, and this lady here has caught my eye first, so please. Is there a microphone? Can we make sure that the microphone is ready to go around the auditorium as well?
Okay, thank you for calling me a young lady, because I want to speak as a young African lady. The people who do tweet, the people who are on Facebook, the people who go into universities, okay? You remember when they said internet was from the devil and it couldn't ever be used? Did anybody whose priest warned him that don't ever bring a laptop or something because it was going to steal your soul away? But here we all have it now. We take it everywhere. You know something? OER will leave. You can be negative about it. You can say no first, then maybe, but you will finally say yes. It's an idea whose time has come. You know, they said Ben Ali was so strong and nothing could shake him in Tunisia. Anybody remembers where he is? Then they said, oh, it can happen in Tunisia, but it can never happen in Egypt. Egypt is a different thing altogether. Anybody knows where it is now? And they said, okay, maybe we can accept it in Tunisia. Maybe it can happen in Egypt, but in Libya, it's impossible. Impossible is nothing. And there is nothing that is not possible. My hat to you, Bakary and Larry Koopman. OER will leave, because in Africa, the youth will force the institutions to share. You may not want to share today, maybe tomorrow, but by next eLearning Africa, you'll be sharing. Take it from me.
Thank you for that excellent contribution, young lady. Who's next? There.
Okay, thank you for giving me the chance. I want to ask you, Professor, I have a side problem. Ruby, what do you exactly teach? I mean,
Learning technologies.
To do what? I mean, seriously, what do you do? What do you teach your students? What is your profession? To make the world better, not to make an invention and then like don't sell it too expensive, otherwise just die with it. What kind of approach, what kind of world are we living in now? I thought we're getting into the utopia dream. I can tell you what's happening in my university just because of this open educational resources. Students are generating their own content. They're doing community-based research and it's being documented. Exactly, but why are you so against open educational resources?
Sorry. Yeah. You want student content or do you want content from people who know the subject?
Well, I'm dealing with open source.
Thank you very much. I will take it from another point. Actually, it is between developed country and developing countries. Because all the learning, education, a proper education, it is in developed countries. And we need some of it in developing countries. When you go the other way, you said, give me, give me, give me. Actually, the developed countries are taking and taking and taking and not giving. If you go for doctors, engineers, all the professionals who are educated in Africa for 25 years and paid by African resources, going to States and Europes, and you are not giving a reward for that. So you are taking easily and very difficult to give us. This is my message. Thank you.
Yes, but this supports our argument. The universities in the developed world are taking. They're not giving. That's the whole point. That's what we're saying is universities aren't going to give. So thank you for supporting our argument.
Yes, a quick one. We have facts against that. Once again, well, I just wanted to talk about the ABU, but the ABU website, we have an OER website. It is accessed by 114 countries in the world. We all know that we have 54 in Africa. So it must be some countries outside of Africa using it. So, which means that Africa is contributing. And by the way, the first country accessing our website is Brazil. The second is the USA, the third is France. So we are very proud to be not receiving any more all the time. So that argument is for us.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really had to struggle to be seen, maybe because I'm short. Yeah, thank you very much, Professor, but I just want to assure you, the only thing we want for free is God's love, because even human being love has a price tag. You know, as developing countries or as least developed countries like Tanzania, we need affirmative action to be on board. So if you say that we want for free, it really icks us because we don't know what free is that. It's not free. This is an affirmative action to make sure also we are moving at the pace you are moving. Another thing is, I'm really worried about universities. They're commercialized so much that I wonder whether their role, because the role of the university is to generate knowledge, is to help their societies. But if they commercialize so much, it defeats the purpose, because you are a lot of information while we are suffering every time employing consultants, even for things which you can just research and give us information. I work for the government. Our role is to facilitate. So we should also commercialize facilitation because we are facilitating you. I think what the universities should do is to ask from the government, like we did this year, where we allocated a certain amount of money for research and development. But if we say that because you are in the university, you are doing a lot of work, you are studying for many years, you should commercialize, then you keep on incubating information. At the end of the day, they'll be in archives like they are. Go to university libraries, they are full of information, but who knows what is happening? Another thing we want is, we should now move ahead. Instead of just becoming academicians, you are an academician, but make a user-friendly information so much that me as a policymaker, I can understand what you have researched about. So user-friendly information is important. Otherwise, what is the point of talking this academic language, which I cannot understand even if you put it in journals? So I think that is where you go wrong. Another thing is, even in the United States, there was an affirmative action for blacks to go to universities. So you must have affirmative action for African countries who are fighting poverty, fighting diseases, fighting ignorance, and you say that we don't want things for free. And it is not free, incidentally. You come here with a lot of, we have to buy the equipment, we have to pay the consultants, so it is not free. And I attended some lectures. You say that we have to share if we want to develop. Is this sharing if you want to commercialize? And if you say that is give. No, the only thing we want to be given for free is God's love, but the information, we have to get it free also. Thank you.